Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Toy Mill. I am Steve, and I am backed up by, as usual, Doug over here. And this is your place for toy news, sort of your catch-all. So this week we got a couple of really interesting things to cover. We've been out of the field for about another week because life happens, but some things that I'm actually really excited about sharing. So we can just like dive right into it if you want to, Doug.
Oh yeah, let's go right into it because this is gonna be an exciting week.
Yeah. Yep. Super.
Uh, so the one thing I have, which I'm sure every collector is eagerly anticipating, is this Friday. Hasbro PulseCon is coming back to us, and they're going to be showing off pretty much something new from every single one of their brands, is what I'm told.
Yeah, yeah, really wide stretching panels. So that'll be very exciting. What is it? Does it go over 2 days or three?
I think it goes over 2 days. I think it's Friday and Saturday. Um,
Right.
and I think GI Joe and Transformer are Friday, if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I think Transformers is going to be one of the very first brand panels on there, which is cool as hell. We've been in a little bit of a dip for Transformers and Joe News. They just had tons of reveals and a bunch of stuff for oh, it was at San Diego Comic Con. So we were sort of in this like eerie silence since
Well,
then.
Hasbro usually does a really good job of showing us what they have upcoming. Um, but of course, the thing that people are a little still bit weary about for stuff like that is the shipping, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not hitting the shelves as fast as collectors would like it to be. I mean, they showed us Sergeant Stalker, what, like four reveals ago, and people are finally finding them in the United States. So they're starting to roll out. Hopefully, eventually, we'll start seeing them on the West Coast. But like Hasbro does a really good job of showing us all these things that we really want, but they're kind of slow to roll out. So
Yeah, we'll get them
we'll
eventually.
get them
You know,
eventually.
like, but yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, like they had half a year ago or better said that their distribution woes were eased, and now it's like, well, where the F is Crimson Guard?
Yeah,
You know, I mean, like we just got Storm Shadow and
Spirit.
Spirit, yeah, yeah, and the Cobra Trooper, and I just started seeing those Croc Masters now
Mhm.
popping up from time to time. I saw one in specialty retail, but those are kind of like direct from
Right.
Diamond Select, so it's not getting through they don't have the same distribution woes as Walmart or
Right.
Target.
But people have been, like I said, people have been seeing Sergeant Stalker. They have been seeing the Crimson Twins have been showing up, and I've seen people taking pictures of them and posting them. The Crimson Guard has been showing up, but not on our side of the country yet. At least not that I've seen. So if you've seen them on the West Coast, let us know in the comments. Let us know where you've seen them, so we can
Yeah,
kind of gauge how when they'll start showing up in our neck of the woods.
yeah. So Bryson can drive up there and pick it
And
off
and
like
yeah,
6 in the
yeah.
morning. Yeah, yeah.
Bryson.
Well, I got one that dovetails on PulseCon.
What's that?
If you thought PulseCon was cool, wait till you get a load of the Walmart Collector Con.
Mm-hmm.
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
What are they going to show us, Steve?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that all the scalpers buy that we can't have. So that'll be pretty rad.
What are the scalpers getting this year?
Oh, Transformers G1 reissues. I mean, like in my wildest dream, that would be kind of a cool thing for them to show off, but
Ah, that would be so awesome to bring
it's
that back.
it's gonna so not be as cool as PulseCon 100%. But hey, I just threw it out there. Target did a weird little thing recently, and actually it ended up being pretty exciting. A few of the things, but
Well,
um,
that was. Do you want to share what the Target one was, or
I got a little bit on that
okay?
before I totally hog up the deal. So you had PulseCon. You got anything else there, sir?
PulseCon was the big one that I wanted to point out, and it's also the one I'm really excited for.
Okay, great. Um, okay, so then obviously we were just talking about that Target collectors event, aka scalp our asses off and resell for high prices. But something different happened this time.
Mhm.
Something super rad that they showed was like very available for pre-order. It's
I
nuts.
checked
And I
today,
hope
and it's still available for pre-order.
they showed new figures based on the 80s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Yeah, awesome, dude. I mean, like I was looking at this flyer that went out, and I'm scrolling through it and I'm like, oh look, classified barbecue. What a collector's item. I mean, didn't they put that on one like 3 cons ago? Well, he's back. Never had a hard time getting that one.
Not really.
Like Beachhead and all those other ones were impossible, not even impossible, impossible to find. And then they get you so jazzed about the convention, collectors convention thing, and like have it for 4.5 seconds available. So
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
So I wasn't expecting much from Target either, because they and Walmart, their motto with those things is shit the bed and shit it hard. So you know what I mean? That's all that it is. And Mattel Creations is like right behind them. But
Oh, well, at least Mattel Creations is trying to make things a little bit better. They've been doing some of their reissues for some of the harder to get items, like Grizzlor and Wondar, which, by the way, as we're recording this, Wondar is still available for pre-order for the next 24 hours. You better get out there, Steve.
I know.
But
I say I don't want it, then I'll buy like 4 of them. Yeah, great.
but I was able to get the pre-order for the Venger and Dungeon Master.
Sweet. And yeah, they come like they're either like isn't it a big figure or like a two small figures, and they all compact with like a dice too.
Yeah, so this one is the Avenger Dungeon Master 2-pack comes with two of the Dungeons and Dragons like blood red dice. And you're supposed to be able to buy, as you buy all of them, you're able to combine them to make one Dungeons and Dragons dice set that you're only able to get if you combine these figures.
Yeah, I don't know what somebody would do if they couldn't get those red dice. Maybe just
Get
buy
more
some
other
red dice. Yeah. Yeah, like this is some like benevolent pack in. It's a freaking dice that you get like out of the jars that candy used to come in. Any comic book store sells them for like 25 cents a piece. That's okay. It's a neat pack in.
Well, but one of the things I noticed, so that was on the Hasbro Pulse website to get those two. It was also available on Target for a very limited time, which is not now. I went back out and checked today. They do have the other three. They have Hank, Diana, and Bobby with Uni. And they were $24.99 each for pre-order. But one of the things that they do that they get you, like say you only wanted to get one, which I was really only after Hank, right? $24.99, heck yeah, sign me up. Well, it won't let you do it because it says this item is only available to ship in orders of $35 or more. So you have to find something else in order to get it shipped to you. So so you can't just buy the figure on its own. You have to get something else to have it shipped to you.
Do you still have to pay the shipping on top of that?
No, the shipping is free, but free, right? You made me buy something else in order to get this $35.
So the figure itself is 24 or 25. Your shipping was going to be $7 or $8 on there anyway. So I guess you might as well get an action figure, another one, and spend more money with Hasbro.
Yeah,
that's kind of.
It's like, do I buy Hank for $24.99 and well, now I got to buy another one. Well, do I get Diana for $24.99? And I was going to spend $25, but now I'm spending $50. I see what you did there, Target.
Well, that can't be as bad as the William Stout collection from Super 7, those Masters movie figures, where you couldn't buy a single figure unless you bought the whole set of 4.
Oh, gosh, that's dirty pool.
It was, yeah. And you know what? I bought the effing set of 4 so that I could buy some more singles and then sold it off. But and we're yet to see if that Dolph He-Man that they came out with is better than the Masterverse.
I'm still waiting to see the Masterverse one. I'm excited to see that one in my collection.
Yeah, I mean, I want to buy that figure so hard.
Oh, I know.
That's the only way that I can. Yeah, they're so good. It needs to be as good or better than what I've got. But one thing interesting about these D&D figures, so they come, it's a card, like a standard cardboard card, but there's a little box attached to the front that the figure comes in,
No
which I
plastic bubble.
yeah, kind of an interesting choice because you cannot see the figure inside the package. It's a box with the figure in it. And they're starting to do that with a little bit of Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
And Hasbro had kind of gone on record and said, hey, any of our retro figures, that kind of thing, it's still going to come with a plastic bubble because that would have been the aesthetic from, back in the day.
Right.
You're not going to, have a G1 Transformers box without a, plastic window in there so that you can see the toy. No one's going to buy a shoebox with Optimus Prime with a toy printed on the front of it, right?
Nope.
So it was sort of an odd choice because this D&D line, I really feel should have had like a retro card treatment. Maybe not like the LJN retro, but something similar to it, because these are the figures that we never got with AD&D back in the 80s.
And they're the ones that we always wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody always wanted them because, the cartoon was so popular.
Yeah, that's why you were in the toy aisle looking at D&D, was to find, Hank or that little jabroni with the barbarian hat, I don't remember his damn name.
I'll even take Eric.
But then you walk out with a War Duke or Strongheart, which are actually equally as badass figures.
I was still okay with that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it is exciting enough, at least to see that they're finally, after 35 years, giving us the Dungeons and Dragons toys we really want.
It's pretty cool. And this one was so out of the blue. They kept this a secret so well. And when I saw that, I almost had a spit take when I saw it. It was cool. Yeah. So kind of backpacking with this Hasbro PulseCon. There's been some information about the new indie movie that's gotten out there. And Harrison Ford says, "This is it. I'm not doing any more of these movies." Like he's done. And I had speculated, there's a fellow named Dominic that's a local collector here. And I'd speculated that when this new movie came, we might see some just super rad toys, like obviously a line of 4-inch figures, in that $10 or $12 price point. But I mean, like, I'm chomping at the bit for some Black Series indie.
Oh, yes.
Well, they have released, or PulseCon will be featuring an Indiana Jones brand panel there. So damn right, we're going to see some sweet indie merch coming out.
Nice. And it better not be a weird, like, Indiana Jones hat and a whip that makes a whipping sound, because God damn it, Hasbro, I don't want that. I want the figure.
Yeah, tell me about it. Dude, I want a Black Series level Indiana Jones, a Marion, there's a whole myriad of great characters to have. Hell,
deserve it. They deserve it. Give it to us.
Yeah, so that was really good news.
It was.
Another one that really, really interested me, and this is probably the one that I'm happiest to hear about, and like I saw it this morning, was like, oh yes. So we know that the Flash movie is kind of in trouble over at DC, right? Like,
we heard rumbles.
Ezra Miller's outside, like, offset behaviors have really gotten them in trouble, and it's really shaky whether or not they wanted to release that movie with an actor that's tied to this tied to him like that, behaving so poorly and getting into fights and running around with this underage kid, and it's about as innocent as Michael Jackson, when you think about it. But a bunch of DCPIs leaked, which is just the store description and SKUs. And it looks very much like we are not only getting a Michael Keaton 89 Batman from McFarlane.
Woo, finally.
That's who we want it from. That's
all I want. I don't even want to see the movie. Just give me the figure.
We're also getting an 89 Batmobile in
no way.
6-inch figures. Yep. Save your pennies, because I want to say that thing's like $90.
Oh, that's my favorite Batmobile of all time.
But it is, or it should be, appropriately scaled to these like 6 to 7-inch figures. So the whole reason we want to see this Flash movie is to see Michael Keaton as Batman.
That's
right?
it. That's the whole reason.
They had multiple Keaton Batman SKUs. So I mean, there's like unmasked, masked, and we're gonna get a classic Michael Keaton, movie Batman, whether it's '89 or Batman Returns. I'll take either or.
I'll take either of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
One of the few things that NECA did not do well was that '89 Batman that they put out.
I
It just
saw that one. I've seen it for sale a few times, and each time I've passed on it because I just couldn't stand the way you looked.
Well, it was just a matter of it was like sloppiness, the way that the stuff was glued together just didn't look right. I have one, and I'll take it. It's like my 6-inch Keaton Batman until the better one comes. But I am just beyond jazzed that McFarlane has these SKUs in the system, and they're going to release the figures regardless of whether Warner pulls another one of these like put baby in the corner deals like they did with Batgirl.
Can you imagine next year going to the store and being able to find 6-inch Indiana Jones, 6-inch Keaton Batmans? Like next year is going to be outstanding. I'm hoping we get to see more of these classifieds. The Legacy Transformer line is really booming. It's given us some good stuff, even though it's kind of some stuff from the Siege, from the War for Cybertron line. They've really started to embrace this Diaclone alternate colors, which I'm a fan of. I know you're not, but I'm a big fan of them.
I like it. I'm not going to collect it, but I think that it's cool that they're making. I mean, it's a good way to reuse molds. But
Yeah, and there's a lot of fans of Diaclone in the United States. It's not just a Japanese toy line that people are really excited for. So I'm glad they're finally doing
it. Have you seen new Diaclone?
The new Diaclone is crazy looking.
Oh, wow!
Those things. Oh, what was the one that was the Optimus Prime version of it? The Convoy.
Battle Convoy.
That thing is huge.
Oh, it's badass, dude. That toy is so awesome. It is like $200 awesome.
Oh, if I had $200 and it was right there, I'd buy it.
Can't say I wouldn't. You would.
I probably would. You would.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed.
Oh no, not embarrassed.
I won't tell her if you won't.
No, I podcast in my home where my wife lives.
Oh, so worth the money, but we'll never see it. Most of it's only released in Japan, and if you're lucky enough to get them, that's cool. I've seen some people who have posted pictures of them, so wow.
You never know with Hasbro Pulse running some of the Takara stuff. You never know. That would be kind of neat if they did that. Actually, that Siege Jetfire is already a confirmed exclusive for the Asian market, but I would be 0% surprised if we don't see a reissue of Siege Jetfire.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool to be able to see one of him. I missed him the first time, and the secondary price on him is a little high. So it would be nice to be able to find him on the shelf somewhere and get him for a reasonable price.
Yeah, and you found some pictures on Instagram of a third party that looks pretty good too.
Yeah, well, that one he's painted in his original Jetfire colors, right, with the bright red. And
the one that you shared with me the other day, where it's like a traditional Jetfire look. Yeah. I shared with you the Macross repaint tribute to Jetfire.
Yeah, which was really cool, but the size on him was it was kind of a smaller size than what people were expecting.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't a large one. That one I showed you was a pretty good sized one.
Yeah, the one you showed me, if it's not at least like 7 or 8 inches, it just doesn't look right with the other.
And Jetfire's got to be at least a head and shoulders above, Optimus Prime at least, because he's just a big bot.
Yep.
What other news you got?
Well, that was it, man. That was my. You've seen it all. That was all of it. I'm sure that we're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about, knowing that PulseCon's here in just a couple of days. So,
I can't wait. I cannot wait to share what we find out.
Yeah, we'll check back in with you guys probably next week and just kind of give you our thoughts on what we think about all of this new stuff that's coming. And it's an ever-changing world we live in. So You know, it'd be really sweet if we found some of those 40th He-Man figures too. Those would be pretty awesome.
Oh, dude, to find one of those on shelves would be also
Yeah.
a nice surprise.
Yep.
There's a
Hey.
scalper out there with my name on it somewhere. I know he's
Entertainment Earth got them and was sending them all out, and I'm like, oh my god, do I order one and like risk running into it at Target in 2 days?
oh,
And then when I want to order from Entertainment Earth, they'll be sold out.
they'll be sold out. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, here's hoping.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but you know, it's highly improbable. All right. Well, if you found some other good news, if you liked what you heard today, drop us a like, give us a comment, maybe even a subscribe. We'll take whatever we can get, and hope we see you guys around.
We don't hear from you. We'll see you out in the toy aisle.